Hi and welcome to an extra special episode of Rhondda Pride TV. Tonight myself, Miss Tammy Paxton, and my son-of-a husband, my Mr. Cock, we are going to be interviewing the one and only Dragula sensation from season 3 finalist, the one and only, it's Miss Dollya Black. Plus we've also got a special guest. She's beautiful, she's fabulous, she's Miss Felicia. You'll be hearing from her later on.
Can you hear me?
She looks
Does it
lovely.
work? Oh, thank
It
you.
is working.
It is working.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you're looking gorgeous. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how are you doing?
I'm fabulous. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, doing
Can't
really well,
complain.
thanks.
It's good.
Are you still in lockdown at the moment?
Let's see, they've opened up. They're in like second phase of opening up in Florida, but I'm not leaving because they're all stupid. And so I'm staying locked down with my man.
Good on ya. Good on ya.
They're all
And
going to
tell
get a
us,
second
Dollya,
license.
what's the most exciting thing that you've done in lockdown?
I'm teaching myself new stuff with sewing, and so I'm learning how to embroider, and I'm learning how to work with like leather, and just been doing stuff like that. You know, just trying to use the time in to kind of learn stuff that I haven't really gotten the time to like dedicate to it in the past. So I'm trying to come out, at least I'm not going to come out richer from quarantine, but I'm hoping to at least come out like smarter and learn something from.
That's great. That's really good, learning new skills, you know, while you've got the time to do so.
It's refreshing to hear that, because I'm never going to complain again about not having enough time to do anything. Because seriously, while we've been in this lockdown, the number of times I've said, if only I had time for this, if only I had time for that, what have I done in lockdown? Bugger all.
So, Dollya, you were runner-up with the Boulay Brothers Dragula Season 3 and their first legacy contestant. Did you feel an added extra pressure representing the Black House family while you were doing?
Yes, I felt a tremendous amount of pressure. Well, everyone like loves Victoria, and everyone knows how talented she is, and she's known for her skill set. And so when I went on the show, I was just very much like, okay, I need to focus on what my skill sets are, and I need to make sure that like I'm sort of just like keeping to a certain standard with everything. And so I would say that like the first 2 weeks were probably the hardest with me, like mentally, but then like after that it was like I kind of clicked into it, and then it wasn't as like, it was more so I had something to prove for myself rather than like trying to prove it to other people.
And you came out second from it, which just goes to show you're just as good as your mother.
Thank you so much. She's a very good teacher. I'm very grateful.
You pulled out some incredible looks in the season. I mean, mind-blowing looks. I was really, really impressed what I saw. It was just absolutely wonderful to watch you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, can you tell us, how's your drag life changed since you did Dragula?
Oh, well, now I get to travel when we're not on lockdown. I get to go and meet people who are fans of the show and fans of my drag, and I get to go and kind of make friends all over the world, which has been like the most exciting part of it, is being able to just meet people. And I'm getting to meet people who've never watched the show, and then they decide to watch the show, then they love it, and they love the message, and they love the artists who are involved with it. So getting to be like a brand ambassador for the Dragula message and that's been the most exciting thing, because it encompasses so much. You know, I get to just travel, and that's like the most exciting thing. And, you know, a lot of people in Orlando, it was really great getting to represent Orlando on the show. And so it's been so, it's like super homey. It was homey before and it's even homier now, like coming home from the show and then everybody getting to know about it and, you know, getting to celebrate with me with it. And so it was a really good bonding experience with my city. So I feel a lot closer to my city.
So
That's amazing.
So what got you into this side of drag then?
When I first started doing drag, it was really just like, I had a lot of feminine energy just like built up inside of me that was just very stored in my bones. And so I really was obsessed with just like trying to just be female presenting. I just really wanted to do that at the beginning. And then after about a year or so in, I was getting more and more bored with what I was doing. And I felt like I was missing something. There was just a disconnect. And then it was just like, I changed my name and then everything just kind of started falling into place. And I started trying to connect with the things that when I was younger would inspire me and, you know, bring me happiness or make me feel some sort of emotion, you know. And I tried to reconnect with those things and find ways for them to inspire my drag. A lot of times drag has a tendency to reflect drag. So I try to, and you know, not all the time, but a lot of the time, I try to make sure my drag isn't just reflecting drag. I would try to find inspirations outside of drag to inspire my look. So that way it doesn't end up looking kind of like
every other drag queen out there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you are very different with your look. It's very alternative, unique to you.
Thank you. I try to be as dark and beautiful as I possibly can with most things. I want people to always question what they find beautiful. And when they look at my drag, I don't want it to be something that's very just like, oh, she's pretty. I want it to be like, she's terrifying, but she's also beautiful and stoic. Like I try to like give those clashing, you know, feelings with one another.
Yeah, creating a certain edge, an edginess to the drag aesthetic.
I'm also like,
it's really good. I love your hair.
Oh, thank you.
The half and half is really good.
Thank you. I got sent 2 wigs from Ray Wigs and I styled them into this like little pony thing. I love a ponytail. It makes me feel good.
You can whip it around.
I can sort of whip it around. I think I need to redo this one. I took her on a trip with me to, I went to Columbus, Ohio. I went to LA with her for like a week long worth of gigs. And she's, I forgot about her and she was in my closet. And I was like, oh my God, she's still in this style. I need to redo it.
Well, when you've got the know-how, it's easy enough.
Yeah, I'm grateful. I make myself practice and I make myself do stuff. It's sometimes hard, and I'm sure you guys can relate. Sometimes it's hard to find the motivation to work on a project. It's like you're really inspired by something, but it's like you just don't have that like kick to like just start it. So I try to like
not having the kick to do stuff at the minute. This is just shake it and go.
Hey, shake and goes are a way of life.
I've just invested in 3 wigs, and they're really long wigs, and I'm going to be styling them so my name, obviously mine is Cock, but I would love to. I was given some advice from a drag queen about why kings are sometimes not as popular as queens, and one of it is that a drag queen, when you see a drag queen, the hair is big, the makeup is big, the dress is big. But when you see a drag king, that it looks like they just went to Walmart, bought a suit and an eyeliner, and then drew on a beard. So my mission was to, and I took that comment on board because, you know, it's always good to sort of take what people say on board and see and play with it and see if it improves. So I bought myself 3 wigs. Sorry?
So you're trying to prove and improve the artistry behind the drag king.
Yes. So I'm going to be like doing up my wardrobe and doing a big wig, but you know, obviously being a king, I've always just had my own hair. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really great.
I always encourage my my drag kids to find ways that they can make the transformation that much larger. So makeup is obviously like the basis. It's our bread and butter for doing drag, but it's always great to think beyond that. Like, what can we do to make this character real? You know, one of the things that I think I learned the most from Dragula was the characterization of your looks and who you want to be. And whenever you're coming up with these ideas, I think it's always really important to think about, like, if this were a person in a book or in a comic or in a manga, how would they act? How would their mannerisms be? What would would they have little tics, you know? Are they dirty? Are they really clean? Where do they live? Like, that way you can put those little details into the costuming and into the outfits and into those things, and it just makes that transformation so much more just like you're walking into a new world.
To understand how they're going to progress.
Yeah, I always want my kids to think like in the next steps, like what's the next thing that we can do that is like something that takes our drag to somewhere different. I don't like using the words levels, but it takes our drag somewhere different, because I think that our art should always be growing and evolving and changing.
Different levels
So where
mean
would you...
different things for different people, though.
Well, that's why I don't like the term levels, because I think it makes people feel like it's very linear, and it's not. Art is so subjective, and it's in the eye of the beholder. And so I think that we're all just kind of scattered around this land map, and we all just need to constantly be moving and exploring new things and trying new things.
So being in the House of Black, how did you actually get into the House of Black?
I was seeing a other drag queen who was performing in Orlando, and they were someone who was on cast. I wasn't doing drag yet, and I went out with them, and then started kind of meandering in drag once I stopped talking to them. But I had run into these two very spooky, beautiful ladies whenever I was talking to that drag queen, and so I ended up just kind of like making acquaintances with them out and about. And then once I decided I really wanted to start drag and start pursuing it, I painted like 2 mugs, and I ran into them out at the bar again. And me and Opulence actually exchanged numbers. Opulence and I texted a lot, and then I ended up going and seeing a show that Victoria was performing in, and we ended up hanging out afterwards. And it took like a couple months after that, you know. It was like a year of doing drag before I was actually in the House of Black. But Victoria and Opulence were always good friends to me. They were always in my ring. They taught me so much.
There for you.
Yeah, I grew up in a really small town, and I was really ignorant to queer culture, queer life, drag, just so much. I was just so ignorant to so many things, because my parents, you know, they kept me in a little bubble, and that bubble was kept in an even smaller bubble in the county and I lived in. And
you
so
just come out of the closet, you exploded.
Yeah, pretty much. And I just wanted to learn, and I wanted to, you know, grow and kind of delve into this world that I was, you know, cut off from for so long. And so they were really helpful in teaching me and helping me learn.
If you could hand over any advice to baby drag performers, what would it be?
Don't do what I did. I think it's really cool to find characterization first. Decide what inspires you, and then how can you make this character from this world where it's all the things that inspire you, and what does this person look like? What makes them happy? What do they not like? What do they like? You know, what do they like to wear? What don't they like to wear? You know, what's their favorite color? You know, just like finding out these things, because it can be so cleansing and therapeutic to do drag. And if you start off with a characterization in mind, I think it'll take out a lot of the rough years of trying to just do looks and figure out who you are. Because if it's like you have these things kind of like, well, I told my drag kid once, I was like, write a MySpace bio. Write like an about me on MySpace about your drag persona. And then remember that whenever you're trying to decide looks and things, like, who are you? What inspires you? what do you like? What do you not like? You know, what are those things? And then if you keep those cornerstones, it makes it so much easier to just like progress with your drag. And so that would be my advice. Find your character first, like on paper, and then you don't waste all that time and money doing all these things. Cause like I said, my first drag name was Some Bitch. That was it. And I was just, all I did was just try to do female impersonation. And so it was like every week I was buying a bodysuit, a catsuit. I was doing this. I never sewed. I was just like, you know, and I feel like I was kind of lost in the sauce for like a year, just kind of like being a lady, living my life, which is fine if that's like what you want to do. But I just really wanted to do something else with my art. So it's like, if you're really wanting to do something else with your art, I would find that characterization first.
That's fantastic. It's great advice too, you know, because I think a lot of people do what you did, is that they just go like a bull in a china shop and try everything rather than trying to break it down and building from there. That's great. So for you, Dollya, what is your, how long have you been doing drag?
Going on 5 years. 5 years. It's crazy. It's flown by so fast.
And you've achieved so much. What is your proudest moment of being Dollya Black?
Obviously, like, we don't know who wins the show when we finish filming everything, right? So using that knowledge, we know that everybody has to kind of film an ending, right? So when I filmed my crowning scene, I, you know, made my dress in 6 hours. That white dress, I made that white dress in 6 hours. I was tired. I was so happy to be at the end. I was just elated. And I remember after all the blood had poured over me, everybody who was filming, everybody who was on production just started clapping, and they were all just clapping. And I could not contain my crying. I was just so, I just had this kind of like full circle moment where it was just like, this is everything you've ever wanted and dreamed of and have been working for. And you found something that brings you such happiness, and you're so young. And, you know, in that moment, I was just like, I am so incredibly blessed. I'm so blessed. So that is probably my proudest moment, because it was just like, here I am, I'm doing this, I'm young, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing 90% of the time, but I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm here and I'm happy.
And do it while you're young, love. Do it while you're young. To be an old fucker like us two before you know it.
Because you were given quite a lot of flack on the show for being young in the beginning. And I remember watching the first 2 episodes and going, oh, harsh biscuits. You know, they're really, I mean.
But when you got it, you got it.
Yeah, but season 3 was very different to seasons 1 and 2. Whether it was because it was now sort of on a bigger platform, but the difference, the game just totally upped itself. And it was vicious. I mean, even like the starting episode, I mean, there was just, the Boulay brothers just came in. I mean, I was swept off my feet. I was like,
that's the way the program progressed, though. Minus
and I can say for nothing, there's no 2 ways I would ever jump out of an airplane. Because I was kind of like, I was thinking, I know what that person is going through, because I really don't think I could do that. But kudos to her for jumping out. Wow. But it was just such an entertaining season, and just amazing.
The caliber of talent just goes, like, each season they bring in such a different group of people, and they all have such unique giftings and skills. And so it's like, I knew that after Victoria's season, with all the introduction of all the like intense prosthetic work and special effects, and then with the exterminations being as intense as they were, I knew that season 3, there was going to be a larger pool of applications, a larger pool of talent, and people were going to have an idea of things that they should do that's going to elevate their looks on the show. So I knew people were going to be doing prosthetics. Where like on Victoria's season, she was the prosthetic girl. I knew people were going to be doing prosthetics this season. I knew people were going to be trying to do special effects makeup. I knew that like the costumes were going to be bigger. I knew that there was going to be like cosplay involved and like the armor and all that stuff. So those were all things that I taught myself how to do and worked on like before going to the show and making things, because it was like, I knew that it was going to be like cutthroat, like walking in the door. But I also knew that I had a really big advantage because, you know, only Orlando queens for the most part have really seen me in a competitive environment, and they know how I am in drag competitions. I'm very concise. And so, you know, going into the show, I knew that people would underestimate me. I knew that they would think I was just a pretty girl and was just going to try to do glamour. And like, so it's like, I was just sitting like happy, you know, walking in the door, because it was like, oh, well, all of you are just going to think I'm just like a pretty bitch. But like, I mean, there's so much more to it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the large amount of it is a mind game, really, isn't it? It's about mental strength as well as bringing what you have forward and selling it.
Yes,
I mean,
very much that. It was really hard being on the show because like I'm a Libra. I'm very I can be very passive at times. I hate conflict. I hate arguing with people. It's very easy for me to just let it roll off my back. Like I might roll my eyes and like mumble something for 5 seconds, but I let it go really quick. So it was hard being in that kind of an environment where you're expected to be 100% honest and upfront about how you feel walking in the door. So it was like, okay, this like person who tries to avoid conflict is now having to confront conflict head on. And so it's like, and I knew I was going to have to do that going to the show, but I did not realize how hard it was going to be and like how much was going to happen. So it was like every single time we filmed, I felt like there was just something that would happen, and it was like, oh my god, why am I in the center of this?
what can we expect to see from you when lockdown is finished?
I'm really excited to perform back at my bar. So I can't wait for it to be safe to do that, because I'll be honest, even if they open the bar next week, I wouldn't be there. I'm not planning on going back out in public for at least another month, because even though they're saying it's okay to go around in Florida, our cases are still going up. There's not a lot of proper, they're really not screening properly, and they're not recording that information properly and delivering it accurately. So I'm choosing to just stay inside for the time being and only leave when I need groceries. But once I'm out, I can't wait to perform. Can't wait to start traveling. I already told my manager I want to go to San Diego and LA immediately upon like being able to fly and it be okay, because I just really miss the West Coast. And then personally, I'm learning all of these like extra like skill sets with sewing. So my goal eventually is I really want to get into designing costumes for movies, and I also just want to start doing like custom handmade work for people, like gowns and costume pieces, and you know, different types of just fashion. I don't know that I'll ever be someone who releases like a series of things where they're like, oh, like you know, order this shirt in this size. It's called. I think I just want to start making pieces that I just sell, and they're just pieces, you know, and just kind of explore that and see where it goes. I recently just ordered a human wig, and I'm a cosmetologist. That's my boy job. And so I'm gonna start, you know, coloring human hair and trying to sell these really fun colors online, just because it's something that inspires me, and I want to try to, like, you know, obviously we all have to make money. So I'm trying to explore ways to, you know, make money, to live more comfortably, but doing stuff that brings me fulfillment.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I don't really consider, when things don't really go my way, I don't really consider them failures. I just consider them a challenge during my like goal and my like, you know, process that I have to overcome and work past. So, you know, everything I've set my mind to, I've accomplished in my life, and I'm very persistent, and I'm very enduring. So, you know, I'm always gonna find a way.
In life. There are many challenges in life, and there's also many times where you don't accomplish what you want to. But then again, that's just another challenge. You just gotta get up and get on with it.
Exactly. And a lot of things are stepping stones. A lot of things are just temporary, and there's something
They're
that we're
only
meant
for
to
now.
learn. Yeah, and there's something we're meant to learn in those little small moments of doubt and confusion that really benefit us during the times of success, you know, that really help propel us forward. So I just try to work through those and focus on the good.
I wanted to ask you, who influenced your drag? Who do you feel?
Okay, movies like Underworld, growing up, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter series, Rick Riordan is an author of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians books. All of those, like Rick Riordan's like combination of modernized with like the mythical of like Greek mythology. So inspiring for me as a kid. Greek mythology in general was really inspiring to me. I used to, from like 2nd grade to 4th grade, all I would do is check out books about Greek mythology and study the creatures and the different deities. And then obviously, like, there's fashion that inspires me, but it's usually like Gao Pei. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gao Pei. She's the first Chinese designer to ever be added and be like identified as haute couture, and she's her work is like magnificent. So like that inspired.
Like that right or not, she won't take offense.
But she's incredibly inspiring to me. Her work is what she embodies in her dresses is everything that I would want in my drag. It's the elegance and the elevation and all the glamour, and so it's beautiful. I'm really inspired by.
You're very heavily influenced by manga as well, aren't you?
No, actually, I'm not.
No?
I'm not actually.
That's what I got from your looks. Sorry.
I don't. I read a couple of like the Bleach like mangas when I was like younger, but besides that, I'm not really like a video game person. Not really a manga person. I can appreciate the beauty in it. It's just not something I personally like.
Just a few of that I've seen in the past. That's all. It's what I
love watching. I love watching people play video games, though. That's like I like just sitting and
the look
you
you got now. I would consider that quite a animated look myself. So yeah, that's kind of what you got on there. That is something that I would expect to see in like a video game.
And I think the commonality is I'm inspired by really strong like women. Really strong women. So in video games, you see these really strong, just built, sexy fucking women who are just in charge of it. And that's always been so inspiring to me too. And so, you know, that's why Dollya's got big old titties and big old hips a lot of the time and like, you know, and is loud and just strutting through. But those are a lot of things that inspire me. Music inspires me too. I grew up listening to classic rock. My dad and my mom, they're in their 60s, so grew up listening to classic rock. Really love it. A lot of people in my generation have no idea what I'm listening to when I play it, which is good. I like that. That makes me happy because I'm reintroducing.
So what's in your car then?
What was that?
What's your playlist in your car?
Predominantly AC/DC, My Chemical Romance. I like Led Zeppelin. I have some Guns N' Roses. Love all Queen. I also love a lot of industrial EDM music. So anything that's like a bitch track girl and has some hot lady talking on it, and it's just like a really sick beat added into it, I live for that. I've been listening to May Graves' music recently. It's really fucking good. If you haven't listened to it, stream Ghost on Spotify by May Graves. So fucking good. I want to perform it. Love Bailey is another artist who I love. She's a trans icon for me out on the West Coast. Her song Sheenus is sickening, and so is Hollywood Hooker. So if you can stream those on Spotify, do that as well. So yeah.
Fantastic. And if you could work with one person, who would it be?
That's a really good question. I would love to
I
work
got
with
that.
Cheddar Gorgeous. I would love to work with Cheddar Gorgeous.
Ooh.
She's just she's really inspiring. I know she's a fan of Dragula. I've been a huge fan of her work for a very long time. And she has this way of viewing drag and the art behind it that's just it's so revolutionary and just so refreshing. And I would love to get to perform with her, to watch her perform live, but also to get the opportunity to just sit down and kiki with her over a few drinks and like a blunt and just talk, about drag and art and our lives, and just kind of connect with her, just because I admire her so much as an artist.
Oh, that's great. Well, we should see whether we can get you together the next time you're over. That would
Oh
be
my
great.
God, you would watch me scream and freak out probably. I fangirl sometimes over people. It just depends on who they are, and but I would fangirl in that situation just because she is so awesome.
Actually, should we see if we can organise, should we see if we can organise a 4-way interview?
Oh my God, if she would do that, I would love that, because I've gotten to message her some on Instagram, and she's so fabulous.
Well, we'll have to
Yeah, no,
ask her
definitely. I
about.
think that's a great idea.
That would be
That's a great
fabulous
idea. It's been absolutely great having you with us. I hope you've had a good time. And
I've had the best time. Thank you, guys.
We look forward to seeing more from you in the future. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your time in lockdown, and hopefully everything goes back to normal, and hopefully you guys get your Pride this year.
I hope you guys get your Pride too. And thank you guys for having me. I've had a really good time.
That's fab. You have a good afternoon, and we will see you in the future. We'll see if we'll organize cheddar for you.
Yes. Okay.
Lots of love.
Love you, lots.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wasn't Dollya Black absolutely gorgeous? What a talent, love. Now here's some amazing cabaret from one of the UK's most exciting drag performers at the moment. It's Miss Felicia.
The whispers in the morning of lovers sleeping tight are rolling like thunder now as I look in your eyes. Hold on to your body and feel each move you make. Your voice is warm and tender, love that I could not forsake. 'Cause I'm your lady, and you are my maid. Whenever you reach for me, I do all that I can. Even though there may be times it's far away, yeah, yeah, but never wondered where I am, 'cause I'm always by your side, 'cause I'm your lady, and you are my babe. Whenever you reach for me, out of all that I can, we're heading for something, somewhere I've never been. Sometimes I am frightened, but I'm ready to love with the power of love. The sound of your heart beating made it clear suddenly. That feeling that I can't go on, but it's 9 years away. Come on! 'Cause I'm your lady, and you are my babe. Whenever you reach for me, I know all that I can. We're heading for something, somewhere I never been. Sometimes I am frightened, but I'm ready to learn with the power of love. With the power of love. By the power of love. Come on! Hey! A church house, gym house, a schoolhouse, outhouse, on highway number 19, the people get a city claim. They call it now Bush. Woo, now Bush. They call it now Bush city limits. 25 on the speed limit. Not a motorcycle allowed in it. You gotta strive Fridays. You go to church on Sunday. They call it now Bush. Little old town, I said now Bush. They call it now Bush city limits. You gotta deal on the weekdays. Have a picnic on Labor Day. You go to town on Saturday. You go to church every Sunday. They call it now Bush. Wow, now Bush. They call it now Bush city limits. Come on. Woo! No whiskey for sale. You got card, no bail. Soft pot of molasses is all you get in jail. They call it not Bush. Wow, not Bush. They call it Number City Limits. Number City Limits, come on. Little out town in Tennessee, it's called a little quiet community, you know, girls. A one-horse town, you know, just a little old girl in town. Thank you. Woo! Pull on your red shoes and dance a blues to the song they're playing on the radio. Wow, color lights up your face. And sway through the crowd to an empty space. If you see run, I'll run with you. And if you see hide, well hide. Because my love for you would break my heart in two. If you should fall into my arms, tremble like a flower. Yeah. For fear the grace should fall. For fear tonight is all. I could look into your eyes. That's right. Under the moonlight, the serious moonlight. Come on now, everyone. If you see run, I'll run with you. If you see hide, hide. Because my love for you would break my heart in two. If you should fall into my arms, tremble like a flower. Oh yeah. Shake those maracas, girls. Pull on your red shoes and dance the blues. Under the moonlight, the serious moonlight. Yeah. Let's sway. Ha! Let's sway, let's sway. Oh yeah. Let's dance. You know you want to dance. Rhondda Pride TV. Get your feet calm. Let's dance! Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this week on Rhondda Pride TV. Keep your eyes peeled for more special episodes. One more thing, if you want to be a part of Rhondda Pride Winter Pride online, there's still plenty of time. Just drop us a message via our social media. Until next time, he's been Minus the Cock. I've been Tammy Paxton. Till next time, see ya later.